We're just one day away from Battlefield 6's early access open beta, which is going to be August 7th, which is tomorrow. And but before that, there's a few things that you might want to know because EA has made a few changes to the patch in which is going to affect how we play. All right, so here are the noted changes that they mentioned here in this update. All right, so now it says here Battlefield Labs feedback changes made for open beta, closed versus open weapons. All right, it says we recently shared our goals to connect both the new and veteran players to Battlefield experience. There has been an ongoing discussion about previous class systems, including interest in reintroducing closed weapon to classes as a playlist option. To support different play styles, we're developing functionality that allows you to choose between closed and open weapon modes, starting with the open beta. We're starting with a closed weapon conquest playlist in beta. You'll earn full experience progression in this mode, giving you freedom to play your way. With the open beta inviting you to our largest playtest sessions yet, we encourage everyone to try switching between both systems to find out what works best for you. So essentially what this is, there has been a little bit of split amongst the community in terms of whether you should have full control of what weapons you want to use, regardless of what class you're using, as opposed to having certain weapons specifically allocated to certain classes. So they are going to be doing various play tests that will allow you to test both concepts, where you can just use any weapon with any class, or we can stick to the old way where certain classes have certain access to certain weapons. All right, so now the next thing is maps and modes. It says we're closely tracking players' behavior and traversal across the different maps played in Battlefield Labs, such as for the below image of Siege of Cairo. Using this and other data, we've identified several areas across maps that we've zoned in on change to better the flow of movement and pace at which players traverse and fight each other. So as you guys can see, there is a hyper focus of players, high concentration of players that go through this path, as opposed to the other paths like this. This one is just very, very minimal, right? So what they're going to be trying to do is they're going to try to make some adjustments to the map to evenly distribute the players. This way the engagement, it's equally intense regardless of what direction you go through these maps. Okay, so it says several direct changes have also been made to the layout of objectives, including improved cover, adjusted above sizes, and tailored design to support balanced play for both sides. We've also updated the visual look of objective boundaries and repositioned turrets across the map further to enhance gameplay. As we move into the next phase of the map testing, our focus will shift even more towards refining these objectives layouts and iterating based on player feedback, expecting further adjustments as we approach the final stages of development. We've also loved the fast-paced action of domination and have been exploring the best way of bringing back revives into the mode, a core element of Battlefield team play that we think really fits. After seeing positive feedback from the players, we're excited to introduce reviving as a new mechanic, adding an extra layer of strategy and teamwork to the experience. Interesting. All right, so now they then went to weapons. So time to kill and time to death has been a frequent topic of the community's feedback. With your input, we've balanced damage across the weapon pools, and we're eager to hear your thoughts on how these changes feel during the beta. So what we've seen in the reveal a few days back, the time to kill and time to death is going to be slightly different. So just make sure you give your feedbacks based on that, guys. And we've also leveled up our weapon customization options. We've worked to enhance overall clarity to make the UI more user friendly, so it's easier to see which weapons synergize best with each class. These improvements are designed to help you make more informed choices when building your loadout, ensuring that you can quickly understand the strengths and intended roles of different weapons. Very nice. To further differentiate the classes and provide unique weapon advantages, we've introduced signature weapons. Selecting a weapon that aligns with your class now grants exclusive advantages for a weapon that no other class will benefit from. For example, no other class will be able to utilize a sniper rifle as effectively as a recon. Very nice. So what I'm curious about is how this uh what these benefits are. Would it be a buff to maybe recoil control? Would it be a buff to, would you need to hold your breath longer? Like, how would that work, right? So we'll have to see though. So the road to launch, it says adapting and implementing feedback takes time, and while the open beta will give you an early look at the class system, it is not a final adaptation. After the open beta has concluded, there will be more opportunities to shape the class's experiences together before launch through upcoming Battlefield Labs play sessions. Today, we wanted to give you a glimpse of further changes you can expect beyond open beta as we head towards launch. So the Assault class, while Assault has been recognized as a class for the frontline medics and a favorite among lone wolf players, we've now placed a greater emphasis on team play with WeWork traits and gadgets. Assault offers passive squad benefits that encourages teamwork and provides a stronger support for squad. All right, so now Adrenaline Injector, initially offered as a self-heal effect, now clears and boosts resistance to flashes and stuns effects, enhancing tolerance to explosions and incendiary damage, and improves movement speed. We feel that this will reduce the self-sustaining perks and differentiate them from the support class. Interesting. So the concept of lone wolf is going to be a thing of the past, because if we're for assault, you last longer because you can just self-heal. So it seems like they're trying to create a dependency of each class, which way essentially they want you to operate and work with your squad, essentially, which I really like. Command and Presence has replaced enhanced mobility as the new signature trait. This trait speeds up your capture objective for nearby squad members and takes you and your team out of the combat status faster. With this new ability, we're taking another step to provide the Assault class with more team-focused abilities. Interesting. We're also making a substantial change to the gadget pool for the Assault class. We've renamed the Respawn Beacon to Deploy Beacon. And it's now part of the Assault class gadget pool instead of the Recon. Interesting. Although the Deploy Beacon has traditionally been a staple for the Recon class, it hasn't been without its challenges, often being used by solo snipers to redeploy to hard to reach places. By moving it to the Assault class, we were intentionally redefining it as a team play tool for the frontline flanking and coordinated squad movement. That's nice. That's nice. All right. So now the Deploy Beacon has a finite number of uses per squad and self destructs if the Assault player spawns back on it, making it a tactical and limited resources rather than a persistent advantage. This is a huge change right here. So if the Assault respawns back, it self-destructs. So you have to be a little bit more tactical. You can't just be running and gunning all the time. You have to be tactical and stay with your squad and just work with them that way, right? So you would need your support or your medic nearby you to revive the assault player. This way, that respawn, that deploy beacon will remain active. This way, he doesn't have to respawn back on it and breaking it. So that's huge. That's huge. So it's going to be important to keep your assault alive, actually, in these cases. We believe this addresses concerns around assault being too focused on solo play. All right. So now completely new gadget is being introduced, the Assault Ladder. This versatile tool provides squads with access to previously unreachable areas, functioning as either a ladder or a ramp deployment, depending on deployment angle. As for a powerful team play gadget, it has enabled assault players to lead not just their squad, but their entire team over obstacles to gain height advantage or surprise to enemies in new ways. Now we're moving on to engineering. It says we're pleased to hear balanced feedback on the engineering class, especially in terms of their core role in vehicle gameplay and explosives. We're eager to learn more about how well the engineering gadget pool supports and destroys vehicles and how effective engineers feel in a direct combat. We're also closely monitoring the toolkit to perform in large-scale battles and keen to hear your thoughts on whether playing as an engineer feels impactful and rewarding. This is nice. I like the fact that they're refocusing on the classes and making sure that it feels rewarding to play that class, because in games like this where you have to pick a class, sometimes certain classes get picked more often than others. So what they're trying to do is they want to create it in a way where it's rewarding regardless of what class you want to go for. So this is really good. All right, so now support. We've received general positive feedback regarding support, and we're actively evaluating the key areas for improvement. We'll focus on refresh rates, supply crates, and how well the support signature weapon buffs contribute to the flow of the game. We want to ensure the support player feels essential to their squad in both keeping the teammates supplied and boosting the overall combat efficiency. That is nice. And a recon. For the recon, we saw the opportunity to strengthen the disinformation and sabotage component of its role. With that in mind, we set out to redefine our recon's training paths for removing Pathfinder and replacing it with Spec Ops, a nod to the stealthy explosive focus class last seen in Battlefield 2. This is a path for anyone who wants to take on the stealth function of their squad, providing them with insights on troop movement and quietly operating behind the enemy lines. Interesting. So now Spec Ops 0, your base class training available from the start, allowing quieter takedowns and crouch and prone movement. Spec Ops 1 spots nearby enemy gadgets except for when you're sprinting. And Spec Ops 2, going prone takes you out of combat much faster and removes the spot on self. That is interesting. That is interesting. This essentially allows your squad mates to spawn on you a lot quicker, as opposed to the timer that keeps you in combat essentially. So this is a good trait if you get to Spec Ops 2 actually. In addition, the Recon class features an active ability at level 3 that lets you call in a UAV to a marked position for passive spotting, further enhancing your squad situational awareness. Together with the Recon signature traits, aim spotting, which automatically spots enemies while you're aiming down sights, you'll be fully equipped to play out the intelligence and counterintelligence to its full potential. That is very, very nice. So essentially, these are the updates in regards to the changes that they're making for now and onwards. I'm really keen to seeing some of the changes being put into this open beta. I'm keen to test out all the classes, all the weapons. And if you haven't already, I am Phase One. This is my new channel, Phase One Live. I'm going to be doing FPS content, essentially, which I truly enjoy. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. Help me grow this channel to 1,000. And I do plan on streaming tomorrow and throughout this whole open beta session. So make sure you join the live stream and hang out with us. All right. We'll see you guys on the next one.